Welcome to the Overlooked and Underrated podcast with your host, Reverend Roland, the motivational speaker, also known as Jamal Roland Jr. Sorry I've been gone for a while, but hey, things happen. I've been without a laptop for the past 2 years, and I finally got me a new one, so I know you all miss me and my expert opinions on the categories of sports and music. But hey, we got a lot to discuss. The past, and most importantly, the present too as well. So get ready and be prepared for my most overlooked and underrated takes for season 2 of the Overlooked and Underrated podcast with the intro and outro by the one and only Jukester, the producer. Thanks for joining me today. So just to let you all know, I actually did create an episode 1 for season 2. And season 2 was supposed to have been come out, but what happened was when I recorded episode 1, the file got corrupted and I wasn't able to upload the episode. So that kind of, messed things up a little bit. And that episode was actually an interview with a rapper, someone that attends Savannah State University alongside me. And to speed you all up, I actually graduated from Savannah State University this past May of 2024, majoring in business management. So I finally have my bachelor's degree from the illustrious Savannah State University. And going back to the person I interviewed, her name was Shayla Bands. Go ahead and look her up on Apple Music. She is phenomenal. She has a lot of energy, and she's really good at what she does. She majors in middle grade education. And like I said, she is just phenomenal at rapping. It is spelled Cheyla Bands, Shayla Bands on Apple Music or even YouTube as well. You can also find more of her music on there. So let's get back to it. The reason why you all are here. My takes on sports and music. But first off, we always start with the sports segment. Let's go back to 2022. That's when I last left off. I didn't get to talk about the NBA Finals in 2022. The Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors. And as you all may know, I am anti-Golden State. I strongly dislike the Golden State Warriors. I just enjoy seeing them lose. I don't like seeing them win. So you best believe I was going for the Celtics during that series. And Jason Tatum and the Celtics was actually going on a revenge tour. In round 1, they swept Brooklyn, who beat them the year before when Jaylen Brown broke his wrist. The series after, in the semis, they beat the Bucks, who they've lost to before in the past. And then the series after, in the conference finals, they beat Miami in 7, who they've also lost to before. So they went 3 straight, beating people they've already played against and lost to before in the past. Then they go to the finals. And keep in mind, they had probably one of the best road records ever. One of the best defensive teams ever, too. The best defensive team in the league. So I'm like, yeah, they can win this series. My only concern was how they play at home. And scoring the ball when Jason Tatum can't. Not that he can't do it, but, when, the defense doubles down on Jason Tatum, somebody else can create a shot. And I don't just mean off the catch. I mean someone else creating a shot. But there were also flashes in that series where it looked like Jaylen Brown was better. Because as the series waned, Jason Tatum started to fade. And Jaylen Brown started to shine. And Jaylen Brown looked great. But the reason why Jason Tatum started to fade is not because he was choking. He actually had an injury where he fractured his wrist from that dunk on Giannis in the semis. I don't think a lot of people knew or realized that. But at the same time, though, Andrew Wiggins did put him in a box. He was sitting on that. Put him in a box. And what hurts the most is that the Celtics were up 2-1 in that series. So I was like, yeah, man, yeah. Boston, they could take this series. But I guess not. Steph Curry had other plans. And let me tell you what winning that series did for Stephen Curry. Not only did he win his 4th NBA championship, he finally won that long-awaited Finals MVP. The one thing he did not do at that time in his NBA career, the one thing that was keeping him outside of the top 10 all-time NBA players. Some may have already had him there, but most didn't. But after that Finals, that performance he put on, that's what made him crack the top 10. Now he's legitimately in the top 10. 4 NBA championships, revolutionized basketball, Finals MVP, 2-time MVP, scoring champion, even a steals leader to my surprise even. But yes, after that, Steph Curry is most definitely a top 10 all-time basketball player. And I may have him somewhere at 8 or 9. But the hardest thing to do is trying to figure out who to take out of the top 10. I've gone back and forth. Should I take out Larry? Should I take out Wilt? And it pains me. And I think we're starting to get to the point where there's so many good players that I don't think it's invalid to have more than 10 players that's worthy of being in the top 10. Like, for example, I've mentioned before when talking about my top 10 all-time rappers. There's so many good all-time rappers that if you took out one and put in another, it's not an invalid statement. And I think we're getting to that point in basketball where, hey, if you take out one and put in another, it's not invalid. But hey, let me know what you guys think on Twitter. Roland Jamal, Roland, Jamal, Jamaal, Jr., Jr. Let me know what you guys think on Twitter. Who would you take out to fit in Steph Curry on an all-time list of top 10 NBA players? So that's the first thing I wanted to discuss. That was the first major thing that I missed. Then you got the 2023 season. And somewhere along these lines, LeBron James breaks the all-time scoring record. I'm a huge Jordan fan. And I still have Jordan being the greatest of all time. I even have Kobe over LeBron. But after breaking the all-time scoring record, it's hard to put Kobe over LeBron at this point. It really is. Now, career totals doesn't necessarily decide who's the better player. Because, hey, LeBron obviously played more games than Kobe. Obviously didn't have as many injuries as Kobe. But hey, that all-time scoring feat makes it tough. You want to say Kobe. You really do. But all-time leading scorer, 10K plus rebounds, 10K plus assists, top 5 in steals, top 10 in blocks. It's kind of tough. And it does strengthen this argument against Jordan. However, though, Jordan at his best and LeBron at his best, Jordan is still just a little bit better. He really is. Go back and watch the clips. Now, going on to the 2023 season, the Nuggets versus Miami. Jimmy freaking Buckets has that dog. He really does. He was a man on a mission. He plays hard. Hard. Excuse me, I said that wrong. He played hard. Jimmy Buckets is just built different. We're talking about the defending Eastern Conference champions. Had them on the ropes, up 3-0. And Jimmy had me scared for a second because it seemed real plausible that the Boston Celtics could have been the first team to come back from a 3-0 deficit. And I don't know if many know, but that was the first time a team forced a Game 7 after being down 3-0, and Game 7 is on their home floor. That's the first time that ever happened. So that's one of the reasons why Boston could have made it happen. But unfortunately, they didn't. And Miami just wasn't a good matchup for Denver. They just didn't have enough offensive firepower. The defense was there, but just not enough offensive firepower. They just couldn't make enough threes to keep up with Denver. Jokic was just too good, too big, too good, too skilled. Oh my gosh, Jokic is just amazing. So hey, that's what I got to say about basketball over the past 2 years. The major events that have occurred over the past 2 seasons: LeBron James taking the all-time scoring title, Stephen Curry cracking the top 10, winning his 4th NBA championship, the Denver Nuggets winning their first ever NBA championship. And another thing too, after that championship, if most haven't already, Jokic is absolutely a top 10 all-time center in the game of basketball. And the second championship will easily place him at top 5. Easily. Jokic is so good. The best passing big man we've ever seen. One of the best big men when it comes to touch around the rim. Like, why does it look like he's just flipping up shots and it's going in? And I tell people time and time again that if Larry Bird played now, he'll be Jokic. Jokic is just a bigger Larry Bird. That's all he is. They play so similar. They're slow, unathletic, can knock down shots, all types of shots. Hey, and they rebound very well. I don't think a lot of people know Larry Bird actually averaged 10 rebounds a game for his career. But that's neither here nor there. I digress. Now, before we start talking sports in a more present matter, we're going to do something new. We're going to take a break, because I know that you're probably busy walking the dog, trying to fix something to eat for your kids. I don't know. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to play somebody's music. His name is Yohgio, and he's actually my frat brother. So for those of you that don't know, I actually recently joined a fraternity, Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. That's also what I've been doing in my absence. I also joined a co-ed business fraternity, the International Business Fraternity of Delta Sigma Pi. So those are some new things about me. But hey, enjoy this by Yohgio. All right? And then when we get back, we're going to talk more in a present manner about the NBA. Thank you for listening to the Overlooked and Underrated podcast. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. And, our new setup. So, the first thing I'm going to discuss in the present tense is the Olympics. Oh my gosh, this has got to be one of the best Olympics ever to have happened. We're talking about world records being broken live in front of us. Like, oh my gosh, man. The Olympics this year were amazing. I was so excited by, especially Noah Lyles. He did amazing. Oh my gosh, I see that he couldn't finish because he had COVID. He's racing with COVID. Oh my gosh, man, he was amazing. He was phenomenal. And for those that knows, he was talking a lot of mess. So what he said one time was that it's harder to win an Olympic gold medal than it is to win an NBA championship, because winning the Olympic gold medal is you going against the world, right? And what he said was, how can you call yourself a world champion in the NBA and you play against the whole world? So yeah, he got a little like backfired from that. A lot of people really disagreed with him. It was like, oh, how could you say that? Like, winning NBA championship is hard. It is hard. And I can see why they call the NBA champions world champions, because the NBA is the best league, best basketball league in the world with the best basketball players in the world. So if you win championship there, then got to be the best in the world, which essentially makes sense in a way. But oh my gosh, the Olympics was amazing. I loved watching it, every bit of it. Next time the Olympics come around in 2028, it's going to be in LA. I gotta stack up to go, and I really want to go. I really want to go to the Olympics in LA. Oh my gosh, bro. Hey, bro, if the Olympics ever come back to an Atlanta in my lifetime, you best believe I'm gonna be there. You best believe I'm gonna be there. But we're mostly gonna talk about Team USA, right? Okay, so the thing is, though, with Team USA, for the past two Olympics, especially the 2020 Olympics, which happened in 21 because of COVID in Tokyo, and then the Olympics this year. So the Olympics in 21, everybody was saying like, oh, the world is catching up, because there was a lot of close games prior to the actual Olympics, like in the preliminary games, right? Again, like, these games don't count. These are just preliminary games. And so, because we're used to Team USA blowing out teams, right? Of course, we want Team USA to blow out teams just to show like, hey, we're that much better than you, right? And I don't think the world is catching up with Team USA at all. You got to keep in mind that, hey, they play in a league that's very, very ISO heavy, and then to put them on a team with a bunch of guys that's used to ISO heavy offense, with them having the ball in their hands, it's kind of hard to gel that together, especially in a short amount of time that they have. You know what I'm saying? Versus a lot of people compare it to the 92 Dream Team. You know what I'm saying? The 92 Dream Team, yeah, they were a bunch of guys that were the best players on their team, but more team ball was played in. It wasn't ISO heavy as it is now. Basketball is more ISO heavy, so I think it's harder for guys to gel on Team USA versus it was then. So I think that's another reason why it was easier to blow out teams too, not just because the world was so far behind. I don't think the world is catching up. You know what I'm saying? I think that when these guys play for real, like full on locked in, like for the full 40 minutes, they're blowing out teams. Because I was saying this too in the preliminary games. I was like, bro, y'all are spazzing out about these close games. What's going to happen this year is what happened last time. Everybody was freaking out about in the preliminary games, saying, oh, these games are close, the world's catching up, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Keep in mind, they're not playing for real. The preliminary games don't count, just as long as they win. They start playing for real in the second half, right? But when the Olympics came around, what they start doing? Whooping ass. Blowing teams out. I mean, it was a couple close games, but I still don't feel like they playing against people, like, for real. Like, you feel me? But, hey, that's my thoughts on the Olympics for Team USA real quick. And real quick, also, too, I want to shout out Sydney McLaughlin. She broke the record in the 400-meter women's. Once she broke her own record. She actually broke her record 4 times in the Olympics. And another tragedy, well, not a tragedy, but, another goodbye is Simone Biles. Simone Biles, who is the greatest gymnast to ever live. She's so good that she has rules that weren't there, but now exist because of her. She was doing moves that's now considered illegal. Like, that's how good she is. She said that this is her last time competing in the Olympics. She's 28 years old. I was like, She won gold this year, but she's amazing. She's definitely, absolutely, I want everybody to know that she's the greatest gymnast ever of all time. But yeah, that's my take on the Olympics. That's just me going over it. Hey, some of this stuff is old, but it's more present. Just wanted to go over that. Next episode is going to be more so, top of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But, definitely wanted to go over that because, hey, I've been going for some time. Definitely wanted to give that to you guys. I know you guys were looking for my opinion on that. Next is, how will the Splash Brothers be remembered? That's a good question. Let's see, where do they rank amongst duos? Obviously, you got Jordan and Pippen, Kareem and Magic, Bird and McHale, Kobe and Shaq. What's that, like 4 right there? Kobe, Shaq, Bird, Magic, Kareem, Magic, Jordan, Pippen. That's 4 right there. LeBron has so many duos. LeBron's best duo is him and Wade. So go and say LeBron and Wade. You know what? Splash Brothers, I'll put Splash Brothers in top 5 duos. I'll put them over like Duncan and Parker. Because, the Splash Brothers really revolutionized basketball. Like, we've never seen a shooting backcourt to that nature. And it always fascinates me, like, what are the chances of 2 of the best shooters ever to play alongside each other? Like, what's the chances of that? But I also feel like, too, because one is being Steph Curry, being such a great shooter, and then Klay Thompson coming in being a great shooter as he already is, I feel like they push each other to become better shooters. Like, yeah, I can outshoot you. No, I can outshoot you. And I think that really, pushed Klay to become one of the best shooters ever. But how would it be remembered? I think they're a top 5 duo. I would probably put them at the 5 spot. Obviously, Jordan and Pippen's the best duo. I have Magic and Kareem. Actually, where did I put Magic and Kareem over there? I got Kobe and Shaq at 2. I'll put Kobe and Shaq at 2 because I don't have Kobe and Shaq behind Magic and Kareem. Magic and Kareem are phenomenal, but I would put Kobe and Shaq at 2 because they're just too unstoppable, and plus they three-peated as well. Even though Magic and Kareem made it to the finals 9 times, won 5, but we talking about guys that both of those duos three-peated. It's nothing beats three-peating because the first time they're gonna say is luck. Second time they're gonna say it's coincidence. The third time is what proves it. Like, hey, no, these are the guys. They winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't deny 3 straight. But so Kareem and Magic, I'll put Kareem and Magic over Steph and Klay. Then I'll put Steph and Klay at 5. Yeah. No, that's 4. I'll put them at 4. I'm tripping. And then Duncan and Parker at 5. So I have the Splash Brothers top 5 duos. Why? Because their shooting changed basketball. It changed the way teams play. I remember when they, when they erupted out of nowhere back in around 2015. Like, just teams could not shoot with them. Teams are chucking up threes to try to keep up with the threes that they're making. Normally when teams can make threes, you can make twos faster than you can make threes. Kind of like a quick nickel is better than a slow dime. But the way they make threes at such a high clip, faster and better than normal. Like, it's forcing teams like, dang, we got to shoot more threes. But teams wasn't at that time, didn't have that sort of sniper level though. And plus the spacing those two generate. Oh my gosh, they create so much space, and then not to mention just the gravity. Those two guys, especially Steph Curry, has to have the most gravity out of like every player ever. Just the fact that Curry could come off a screen and 2 guys is running in the direction he's going. He doesn't even have the ball. The fact people can look at him, think about passing it to him, people will run straight to him. And he doesn't even have the ball. Like, it's so insane. And I hoop. I play basketball. I'm a shooter myself. So I see and I feel like because I have that sort of gravity too. But that gravity that he has is so monumental. Oh my gosh. And that's why when you talk about the greatest point guard between him and Magic, I got Magic because it's just the height, like, but I mean, that's not the only reason, but just listen though. Steph Curry can play make in a different way than Magic. Magic play makes, like by getting assists, teammates involved, creating shots, right? By collapsing the defense, that sort of thing, right? Making people that wasn't open. But Curry, his playmaking is more off the ball. Like the ball's not in his hand. He just run off a screen. Everybody's looking at him because he has so much gravity, and now guys are open, right? Like now you got like an extra second to shoot because guys would rather give it to you than Steph Curry. They're gonna play Steph Curry first and then come contest you, close out to you. Or like guys have easy layups on handoffs because, hey, the two guys, right, the guy guarding you and the guy guarding Curry are playing him, and now you can slip. Ooh, boom, easy layup. Man, those two guys, yeah, definitely top 5 right there. I got them at the 4th spot. So that's how the Splash Brothers be remembered. And we're talking about that because Klay Thompson was recently left Golden State and signed to Dallas. I think Dallas, they're going to be a really good team. So you're going to shift over to NBA 24-25 season thoughts. What do we think about this season? You know what? This is going to be a really good season. I think... you know what? Let me try to see. Who would I say win the championship this year? That's a tough one. I really want to say Boston. They're really good. You know, they're the most complete team in the league right now. So I want to say Boston, but if anybody was standing their way, I would say Milwaukee, of course. And that's the thing, that the East has, over the past who knows however long, the East have always had these top 3, maybe 4 teams every year. It's going to be one of these 3, maybe 4 teams every year. And in past, 6 years, half a decade or so, it's been Boston, Philly, Milwaukee. Boston, Philly, Milwaukee. And then maybe some 4th team could creep up in there every now and then. Like for a while, Brooklyn was in that conversation when they had KD. But it's definitely going to be between those 3 teams. Because keep in mind, Milwaukee got Dame, and both of them got hurt in the first round, so we didn't really get to see like how far they could really go, what they could really do. Plus, they've had a full season with a new coach, playing together, and I think they're going to be much better this year. But Boston has the most complete team, so I really think they will come out the East again. I don't see nobody stopping them. Unless Philly, I'm interested to see what Philly could do because they got Paul George now alongside of the coming of Tyrese Maxey alongside Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid could stay healthy. If he could have the year he had in 23, I believe it was, with Harden, where he didn't have like no serious injury. Or no, I think he did have a surgery. That was when he injured his eye. But one of those years where he didn't have a serious injury, yeah, if he could stay healthy during the playoffs, and with a Paul George and a Tyrese Maxey, they could probably make some noise. I would love to see a conference finals matchup between Philly and Boston. That'd be really nice. And plus, they're rivals just over the decades. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the rivals of the NBA. Now, going to the Western Conference, the thing over there is that it's really hard to say just who's going to win the Western Conference. It's so competitive in the Western Conference as compared to the East. Compared to the East, you got the big dogs, tier 1, and then everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes somebody might be able to creep into that tier 1 or have an upset, but then, nobody's really expecting that. But in the Western Conference, though, it is competitive. It is competitive. You can say about 4 or 5, maybe 6 teams that could go all the way. Maybe not win, maybe not beat Boston, but can make it to the finals. That could come out of the West. Minnesota, they just made it to the conference finals. That's not a team to sleep on. Then you got Oklahoma City Thunder. They were the number 1 seed. They were the number 1 seed. They lost to Dallas, but they were number 1 seed. You can't forget about them. Dallas just made it to the finals this past year. That's 3 teams right there. I'm looking at. You got the Denver Nuggets, who just added Russell Westbrook. So that's 4 teams right there. The teams that I think that could make it out of the West is definitely Denver, Minnesota, and Dallas. Clippers is not a team to sleep on either, even though guys stayed hurt over there. They lost Russell Westbrook and Paul George, but we're going to see what James Harden and Kawhi Leonard can cook up together. But they're not like a bad team. I don't think they're going to make it out the West. I think they will probably lose in the second round or something of that nature. But and then one more team in the West, I would probably say Actually, I believe that's it. So Denver Nuggets, OKC, Minnesota, and Dallas. That's at least 4 teams right there. Yep, that's at least 4 teams right there. So that's my thoughts on this NBA season coming up. Then, last but certainly not least for the season, before we close that out, we're going to look at the NBA Christmas schedule. The NBA Christmas schedule came out. The first game is always a game. I think, you know what I realized about NBA Christmas? So you know how in the NFL, the Lions and the Cowboys play every Thanksgiving. I don't know why. I get that the Cowboys is America's team, but give people the matchup they want to see on Thanksgiving. And that's why I think NBA Christmas is better than NFL Thanksgiving. Because NBA Christmas, they give you matchups you want to see. Games you want to see. Games you look forward to. Right? Versus NFL, they just like, what? Bro, the Lions will be 1-8 and they're playing on Thanksgiving. Why? That's just a waste of time. But I digress though. Well, the reason why I brought that up is because I think that they have the Knicks play every Christmas. Because in the past few years, I always see the Knicks on Christmas. So is that just a thing for the NBA? Is that their Lions and Cowboys play every Thanksgiving thing? Is that an NBA version of that? Knicks play every Christmas? I don't know. But first we got Spurs and Knicks. They play first at 12 p.m. You know what? I'm going to go to bed early on Christmas Eve. So that way I could watch these games. Because I'm not closing my eyes to watch these games. I'm not watching these games again. I'm not doing that again. I will be up watching these games. Then after that, we got the Timberwolves and Mavs. See, that's a matchup people want to see. People want to see Minnesota and Dallas go at it. Oh, speaking of Minnesota, oh my gosh. Everybody was riding Anthony Edwards' coattail. He's the next face of the league. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, we get it. Like, I'm kind of meat riding a little bit right now, don't you think? I mean, hey, I know he's nice. I know he got the personality. I know he got the swagger. I know he's talking trash. I know he's being competitive. But hey, I know LeBron's going off into the sunset soon. But hey, just let a star emerge, you know? Because Anthony Edwards, he's tough. But I don't know if he's facing the NBA tough. And also, too, over the past half decade, you know how many, this is going to be the next face of the leagues I've heard? Giannis was to be the next face of the league. Now, then it was Ja could be the next face of the league. Now it's Ant could be the next face of the league. Like, bro, there could only be one face of the league. Take your time and just let a star emerge. Sheesh. Then you got the 76ers and Celtics. That's crazy. I just said that. That'll be a great conference final game. Now, once again, matchups we want to see. Lakers and Warriors, they play after that. You know what I think? I think because I am pretty confident it's gonna be the last season for LeBron James, and I'm trying to get those Laker tickets. Oh my gosh, they cost so much. I'm really trying to get those Laker tickets because I have not seen LeBron play in real life, and I need to be able to tell my kids I've seen LeBron play in real life. But anyway, I think this is the last LeBron versus Warriors, LeBron versus Curry kind of thing. So I think they're giving the fans that on Christmas Day. And then you got Nuggets and Suns. Actually, I don't know why they're giving us that. I do know why. I forgot KD and KD, D-Book, and Bradley Beal's on the Suns. I know it's forgetting another team because I looked at the Suns. Okay, I forgot about them. The Suns, if they could get better on defense, that's another team that could probably make something happen. So now that's 5 teams. If the Suns can make something happen. But that's not a bad matchup. But them boys got whooped by Minnesota. 4 straight. Couldn't get a win? That's crazy work. I can't lie. Was not expecting that. Oh well. Alright, so before we get into the music segment, this is the last topic for sports. I know y'all know I'm a basketball head, but we gotta talk a little bit of football. Just a little bit. Y'all know I went to an HBCU, and when it comes to college football, guess what they don't do? Talk about HBCUs. So what I'm going to do is talk about HBCUs. So I took the liberty to look up what are the top HBCU college football teams. And according to NCAA and their rankings, I'm looking at their top 10 rankings. And number 1, we have Alabama State. Alabama State. Sorry for the silence. But yeah, Alabama State, right? It says here that they have a great defense. And that's like one of their biggest things. Their biggest question mark is with their offense. They have a transfer quarterback in Andrew Body. But yeah, so that's Alabama State. Now, number 2, according to NCAA, is North Carolina Central. Okay. According to NCAA, it seems here they got a few weapons at the skill positions at running back, wide receiver, and they got a solid offensive line. So, and the defense should be good again. It's according to NCAA about North Carolina Central. At number 3, we have Jackson State. All right, so they opened the season at number 3 in the rankings of HBCU football. They have a head coach entering year 2 at the helm, and they like what he's building over there. At number 4, we have Howard University. The Howard University, as a person with your HBCU, Howard is definitely widely considered as the Ivy League of HBCUs, right? But Howard is the defending MEAC champion and made his first Celebration Bowl appearance last season. Gone is the talented yet inconsistent quarterback Quentin Williams, but whoever replaces him can lean on a good offensive line, and the best group of running backs in HBCU football led by Jarrett Hunter and Eden James. On defense, they have Kenny Gallo Jr. He's a top 10 safety in the FCS, and Carson Hinton excels at nickel. So they have a pretty good schedule, a favorable non-conference schedule coming up, getting Tennessee State, the only FCS team on the state that won more games than it lost for homecoming. So, hey, the Bisons set up pretty nicely as they enter conference play. So they go Howard at the 4th spot. They're definitely top 5. To close out the top 5 spots is Florida A&M. FAMU. I actually visited FAMU for spring break this past year, and that was my first time visiting FAMU. And I actually enjoyed it there. I had fun. I had a time there. I got to kick it with some other IOTAs there. Got to meet, the beautiful black women there. I love black women, guys. You know what? This should be edited as a soundbite. I love black women. But hey, and they were, like I said, they were beautiful. They were amazing. But hey, that's neither here nor there. I digress. But FAMU, though, they're the defending Celebration Bowl champions. Opening 2024's preseason rankings at number 4. FAMU lost head coach Willie Simmons and Conference Players of the Year quarterback Jeremy. You know what? I'm not even going to try. And linebacker Isaiah Major. The Trenches took a big defensive hit with the loss of Anthony Dunn Jr. and Gentle Hunt. While the skill group will look different without wide receivers John Murray, Shareed, and Marcus Riley. That's simply too many losses for the Rattlers to rank in the top 3. Yet, though, they do think that FAMU's offense can lessen the transition to new players thanks to a strong offensive line returning and standout running back Kelvin Dean. At number 6, we have Tennessee State. They have a lot of talent coming back, which is really good. It's really good if you have guys coming back from the previous year. That way you don't got to worry about, chemistry and reteaching the offense, things of that nature. So, hey, yeah. At number 7, we have Prairie View A&M. PV. I actually want to visit there one day. Might try to go to the homecoming eventually. Then you have Morgan State. That's actually where my fraternity was founded. Morgan State. They won the MEAC, right? And they would not be surprised. No, excuse me. If Morgan State won the MEAC, hey, it says NCAA would not be surprised. The defense of Baltimore is just that good. So, there go Morgan State at number 8. Then they have Alcorn State at number 9. It's not bad. They won't have running back Jarvion Howard, nor quarterback Aaron Allen this fall. And they also have a new coach, Cedric Thomas. The amount of missing offensive production plus a new coach puts the NCAA in a wait-and-see mode. So we're going to see what Alcorn State can do. And then last but not least, at number 10, we have Grambling State. They make the top 10 because of quarterback Miles Crawley. The preseason SWAC Offensive Player of the Year gives the Tigers one of the few known commodities as a signal caller in the conference. As Crawley goes, so will Grambling State this fall. So there go the top 10 HBCUs in college football. Make sure you tell somebody about it. If you see HBCU football playing, go ahead and turn to it, because all they want to talk about is the PWIs. But hey, we will give HBCU football some attention as well, especially you see any of the 10 schools I named Just so you don't got to go back and listen to it, I'm going to say it one more time. At number 1, you have Alabama State. Number 2, North Carolina Central. Number 3, Jackson State. Number 4, Howard University. Number 5, Florida A&M, a.k.a. FAMU. Number 6, Tennessee State. Number 7, Prairie View A&M. Number 8, Morgan State. Number 9, Alcorn State. And number 10, Grambling State. So if you see any of these teams playing, go ahead and turn to it. See what they're talking about. And we'll give HBCU sports and athletics the attention it deserves. Now, we're going to take a break. Give another song a play, give another song a spin. If you want your music played here on this podcast, go ahead and DM me. Click the link in the description of this episode. DM me on Instagram, and I'll tell you the steps. All you got to do is donate to my scholarship going towards other Savannah State students, and your music will be played on my podcast. This is Terica Sine, Can't Take My Joy.
I was on my knees looking around, waiting to be found. And then you met me right where I was at. And from then on you showed me that you're the truth, you're the light, you're the way. Many search, but you chose me. That's why I got joy. J-O-Y, joy. P-E-A-C-E, peace. And can't nobody come and take that from me. Said I got F-A-I-T-H, faith in God and all of his promises. And can't nobody come and take that from me. Got joy. I've been set apart, I've been made new. Open up my eyes, show me the truth. Faith of a mustard seed, all that I need is you. I've been set apart, I've been made new. Open up my eyes, show me the truth. Faith of a mustard seed, all that I need is you. Oh, oh, how sweet it is to trust in him with all I do. Present myself to God as one approved. I gotta go all the way, stay in the race. There's no need to be ashamed. There's power in the name of Jesus. J-O-Y, oh, I got J-C-E, peace. And can't nobody come and take that. So no one can say it. I got can't nobody come and take that. J-O-Y, joy. P-E-A-C-E, peace. And can't nobody come and take that from me. And I said I got F-A-I-T-H, faith in God and all of his promises. And can't nobody come and take that from me.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that song. That was a great song. I really enjoyed that song by Terica Sine. Y'all go ahead and check her out too on Apple Music or YouTube. Once again, that was called Can't Take My Joy. All right. I know you all been waiting for this, especially the ones that's not really into sports, but we finally gonna get into the music segment. But I'm gonna keep the music segment short because this episode is longer than what I anticipated. So we're only gonna do one topic for the music segment because really the other topics I want to discuss, I gotta have somebody here, and this is an introductory episode for season 2, so yes. But you've guessed it, we are going to discuss Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. And I can't believe Drake decided to take on that challenge. So let's review real quick. So first what happened was you got Like That with Kendrick featuring Future, right? He throws shots at what was thought to be Cole and Drake, right? And keep in mind, Drake, Kendrick, and Cole are in the Mount, and Nicki Minaj is in the Mount Rushmore. That means they're the top four. They're in the Mount Rushmore of our generation of the 2010s, easily, right? The 2010s are the Mount Rushmore. They're the best rappers in the 2010s. No question about it, for sure. So when Cole, raps about, who's the best of now, he talks about himself, Drake, and Kendrick all the time. And for whatever reason, J. Cole thinks he's number 3. I don't know why he thinks he's 3. It's one thing to think Kendrick's better than you, but to think Drake is better than you? Come on, you're easily 2. Maybe 1 in some eyes. Me, I'm on the fence between Cole and Kendrick. I love those guys to death. They're amazing artists, amazing rappers. But Drake, it's like Cole, Kendrick, and then everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's like Cole, Kendrick, you go down some, and then Drake. And then, you know what I'm saying, you can say whoever you want after that. But yeah, so Cole, you're definitely not number 3. Nobody's throwing the bronze at you. If anybody's throwing the bronze at you, you throw it right back at their head, bro. Because what we doing here, you throw it right back at their head. So anyway, so we'll start. The reason why I say it was thought to have been Drake and Cole, because, it's first person shooter. J. Cole and Drake had that song together. Oh my gosh, Cole was snapping on that song. That fool said shooting shots at Ukrainian. Why he spitting like that? But really, that shot is really towards Drake, because for whatever reason, Kendrick doesn't like Drake. My whole friend gave me this whole spiel. I seen it on Instagram, this whole spiel of why people don't like Drake. I don't even know. I don't keep up with celebrities. Just show me the music. But it's really a Drake, not a Cole. Cole just called it straight because he just happened to be on the song with Drake. That's really what it is. And I bet you the reason why. Because at first, initially, when it happened, I'm thinking, Cole is throwing shots at Cole, because it's like, hey, these guys, y'all been number 1 and 2 for a long time. People trying to get a collab album. People been comparing y'all, saying who the best. And I'm thinking Kendrick just saying, like, okay, for once, and finally saying, like, yeah, nah, like, I'm betting for real. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get people what they want to see. Let's wrap it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's battle. Like, you feel me? And oh my gosh, I would have paid to see that. But I was so excited at what Cole was going to do. And 7-minute drill wasn't like terrible, but like the angle of it, I wasn't expecting him to go at Kendrick's discography, like, you know what I'm saying, out of everything, like his discography. But it's hard to really say anything about either of the two. Either of the two are really cool dudes. They don't really do anything to bother nobody. They really chill dudes, man. So it's like, it's kind of hard to say something like to either one of the guys. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, but I bet the reason why Cole apologized is because I bet you Cole called my man Cole and said, hey, look, bro, this ain't got nothing to do with you, twin. You good. And my man Cole was like, all right, bet. My bad. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not on some like, oh, he ain't wanting to smoke, none of that. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because Cole could rap with Kendrick and Kendrick could rap with Cole. Like, that's why, like, that right there would have been, like, Battle of the Titans. You feel me? Like, yeah, man. So that definitely would have been up there. But got that out the way. Cole just called it straight. Okay, cool. So Drake, you know what I'm saying, come out with some Kendrick. Kendrick was on it, man, ass, bro. Like, it's like, how do you know this about this man? Why do you know this information? Who, like my man J. Cole said to Nardwar, who told you that? Who told you that? Where you get this stuff from? But man, and off the muscle, when it came down to Drake versus Kendrick, off the muscle, I knew everybody, mama knew Kendrick was gonna win. Kendrick is a far better rapper than Drake, and there's no doubt about that. Far better rapper, especially if they were to do something freestyle, a freestyle rap battle off the dome. Shit. But yeah, man, and then really they say Euphoria was like a 19-minute song. So what I think what he did was he took Euphoria, instead of dropping all 19 minutes of it, he dropped Euphoria first, and then he just broke it up and just dropped it piece by piece. That's why he was able to drop song, day after day after day. And then, you know, Drake don't really write his own music like that. He has people to write his stuff for him, so they're not able to keep up with Kendrick. Kendrick writes his shit. You feel me? He writes his shit. So, excuse me, but man, bro, They Not Like Us is probably like the biggest diss track since Hit 'Em Up. Like what? Like Ether was big. No Vaseline was big. People was playing No Vaseline and Ether, but not like, bro, people still play Hit 'Em Up to this day. Like, bro, They Not Like Us is going to be a classic. Like, people are going to be playing Not Like Us for years to come. That's like a diss of like of the decade. Like, bro, this is the biggest, best diss since Hit 'Em Up. You know what I'm saying? They'll make this is like the same way, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, fuck you and your boys. We won't, you know what I'm saying? They're not doing all that, but like, but no, this was lethal though. This was lethal work. I don't know people want to listen to Drake anymore after that. But yeah, so that's the music segment. We're gonna go ahead and close this out. This is our new outro. It's by Jukester the producer. Y'all go follow him on Instagram, Jukesters_creations. It's spelled JUKESTERS_creations. Also check out his YouTube. The link is in his bio as well. That's called Jukesters Arena. Thank you for tuning in to the Overlooked and Underrated podcast, where we debate about sports and music, and we give our hot takes, hidden takes. We polish the hidden gems, find them in the dirt somewhere, and we put you on the new stuff. If you want your music played on my podcast, make sure you press the link in the bio. Thank you for listening to and tuning in.